Hey Nomads, we're back, episode 14. Holy cow, this is going to be an exciting one. Just kidding, I don't know why I'm being excited about this. We're talking about Game Pass. This is the Nomads of Fantasy podcast. My name is Brandon, I am the host, and I'm also here with Eric.
Power your dreams.
That is creepy.
Alright, and Dave.
Hello Internet. I'm staying boring this week. I'm just saying hi.
Classic. It's classic.
No, clean.
It's
classic.
Standard.
No, it's good. Apple would be proud. Yeah, no, you're consistent. No, it's good. So Nomads of Fantasy. We love to bebop around all the cool different worlds out there across movies, video games, TV shows. And, man, this episode is crazy because we have an Xbox. That gives us the ability to play on Game Pass. And it is like the highway of going in and out of all kinds of worlds in the video game space, for better or worse. And we'll get into that. But before we do, let's catch up on what we've been up to. I don't have much really to say. I did a lot of crossover with Dave on the stuff I played, and I watched like one movie. But let's start with Eric. What have you been doing?
Sure. Speaking of Game Pass, I played a bunch of Game Pass games over the past week, so that's fitting. But I told you guys, I think it was last week or the week before, you guys were talking about Blood Roots.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually tried that one out because I have it on my Switch. I just haven't booted it up. That game's fun. I won't go over it again just because you guys already covered it, but it's a fun game. It's a little bit frustrating at times. I don't know. I feel like sometimes it's kind of tough. Well, this is a lot to do with the fact that I'm playing on a Switch in handheld mode, and like the character is like super small on the screen, so it's kind of tough to see what's going on. It's probably much better playing it on a big screen. But I feel like sometimes like I'll try to hit an enemy and I just die randomly and I don't know why, and I'll have to restart again. But overall it's fun. I like it. The different weapons you pick up, just fucking going through. Like you said, it's kind of like Katana Zero. It's kind of more like a puzzle game. You got to figure out the best path to go with taking out all these enemies to get through the level.
That's one where I yell at the TV a lot when I play that one. Because like you can swing and you miss, and you got like that half a second where you know the guy's just going to punch you in the face and you got to start over. And and you smack the couch. And
But it's fun. I'll probably keep going on that one a little bit. So let's see, some other Game Pass games I tried out. A couple that came out really recently. Atomicrops I checked out. I'll just kind of run through these pretty quick.
I downloaded it.
It's fun. It's like a pixel arty looking thing. It has a really funny like opening hand drawn animation, like funny little background story thing, but it doesn't really relate to the game. I just feel like they wanted to create a fun opening, but I thought that was cool. But the gameplay itself is like, I don't know, try to think like Stardew Valley mixed with like, I don't know, a twin stick shooter tower defense type thing. So you're planting your crops in your little plot, and you're picking up seeds. You're exploring this like world. You're picking up seeds from around the world. You're planting them, watering them, all that stuff. And then when night comes, you have to defend your crops from like all these monsters that come. And you basically got the guns. It's like a twin stick shooter. You shoot all these monsters because they can steal your crops, which are, your crops are the way that you get money to get different upgrades and different equipment to improve your farm and all this stuff. I really didn't get too far into it. I only played it goes in days, which the days only last a couple minutes. And there's also seasons like Stardew Valley. So I made it through like the first season from spring to summer. And that only took me like less than an hour. So I didn't play a ton of it. It's a fun little arcadey thing that, I might go back to if I'm bored, but, so that was a fun one. What else? I played.
It's a perfect Game Pass game. That's what it is.
Yeah. It really is.
You would never really buy it, but like try it out. See what's up.
I feel like that's how I approach Game Pass. Is I just look at the screenshots and be like, "Oh yeah, that looks kind of fun," and download it and then check it out. And if I don't like it, just uninstall it. Another one was Chris Tales. I don't know if you guys saw this one or heard of this one. Another one. I really like the art. It's really nice hand-drawn art. And that's kind of the extent of what I like about it. It is like a JRPG, like turn-based combat. It does have this cool mechanic where, like, I don't know, you get imbued with this, like, divine power where you can see past, present, and future. So, like, the screen is divided. It's like a triangle. You're in the middle in the present, and then you could see the past and the future on either side of the screen. So you can see, like, one example would be, like, you plant a seed in the ground. In the past, it's just a plot of dirt. In the present, you can see a little sprout. And then in the future, you can see a fully
pretty
grown
cool.
tree.
Huh.
I really like the concept, but the gameplay and the story were just not grabbing me. And so, I don't know. I feel like I didn't really give that a fair shake, but I kind of got bored with it. So I probably won't go back to that one. The one that really grabbed me that I downloaded was Lethal League Blaze. So we attempted to play this last night, but the servers were down or not working correctly. But I played a bunch of the single player. And the best way to describe this is like, it's like it's kind of like a sports game. It's like a fighting game mixed with baseball, essentially.
It's like one screen, though. You're like looking at one screen. The gameplay is 2D. It's like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, where like the screen is like the fight. Like, that's it.
Yep. So you're basically just smacking this ball back and forth. And like the more times in a row you hit it, the faster and faster it goes. And like your goal is to basically knock out the other person, hit them with the ball. Like you each got a health meter, and like I think once you get like 5, they call them bursts. So you basically have 5 lives, and then once the first person,
and it bounces off of every.
Oh yeah, it bounces all around the screen. It's pretty insane. Like when you hit it, like I had it going really fast last night. Like you hit it like 10 times in a row. I think it maxes out eventually, and it's just like insane. And then the faster you hit it, the more likely you are to get like a 1-hit kill. So if you get it going really fast, you can take their whole health meter down like all the way. Like 1 hit will just take a little bit off, but the faster you get it going, the more you'll damage them. And then there's like special power-ups and stuff and different modes. It's really cool. I'll probably go back to that one a little bit more. And then I'm continuing on my Harry Potter journey. I'm like completely entrenching myself in the Potterverse. So I'm on the Goblet of Fire with the movies, the wife and I. I've never read the books, so I started reading the first book, which has been cool. I mean, I haven't gotten too far into it, but I'm enjoying that. I'm not really a book guy.
There's a ton of stuff in the books that they left out of the movies. A lot of little details and stuff like that. So the books definitely give you like they give you a better view of what's going on in the world. And it's kind of nice then if you're watching the movies first, you know the story, but so you can have like characters in your head that you know who they are. So when they start mentioning like 1,000 characters in the books, like it kind of makes a lot more sense, I think. That's cool though. Sweet.
So I got the movies, I got the books. I want to do video games too. I just watched the trailer for Hogwarts Legacy today.
That looks so good.
That game looks amazing. There's a Game Boy Advance version of The Prisoner of Azkaban, which I want to play because I remember playing that as a kid and really enjoying it. Which it's weird. It's like a turn-based RPG, and I remember it being really cool. So I'm pretty into Harry Potter right now.
This might date the podcast a little bit, but there is I believe the Xbox game sale is still going right now, and the Lego Harry Potter years 1 through 7 games is $10 right now. So that may be a good one just to grab. You didn't maybe not play it. You don't have to play it right away, but seems like it's definitely worth it. I mean, it's a fucking Lego game, so they're all got the same kind of shit to them. Yeah.
Cool. Yep. The last thing that I've been watching, I brought this up with you guys, is I Think You Should Leave, and it on Netflix, and it's fucking hilarious. I know Brandon's watched a little bit of it. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, it's a sketch comedy show, created by Tim Robinson, former SNL writer and cast member. And there's some other SNL alums and cast members that appear for like cameos and stuff and help out with writing. I think Andy Samberg is an executive producer on it too.
Nice.
But it's just fucking hilarious. Like, I mean, with any sketch comedy, some are gonna hit and some are gonna miss. But most of them have been pretty fucking funny. And it's, you know, I feel like it has to be your kind of sense of humor to enjoy it. Like, it's more of that like random humor. Like, I don't know how to describe it.
It definitely gets extreme. You don't know where he's gonna go, but he's like, I don't know, he's got that style where it's deadpan. Like what he's doing is ridiculous, but he's reacting like it's not.
Right, exactly.
You know?
That's what's so
Which is
funny
like, if
about
you like
it.
that humor, it's
Yep. So that's the one I wanted to shout out quick. And yeah, that's all I had.
Nice.
What about you, Dave?
Well, as the last couple of weeks have been going, I've been chipping away at My Hero Academia.
Hell yes.
So that one's good. I'm almost done with season 2. They finished the fighting tournament or whatever. They're all back in class. They're picking hero names. Freaking Explodey Hands Bakugo. Is that it?
Yep. That's
okay.
it.
Explodey Hands. He won the tournament and it was being really weird about it. I don't know. But that one's going good. Me and Brandon played a chunk of Smite this week. That was one that we like flip back into rotation every once in a while. That's a good one. It's a free to play third person MOBA. So multiplayer online battle arena. And it's all gods from like Chinese, Egyptian, Greek, Hindu, Japanese, all these mythologies or whatever. And you're just trying to destroy the other person's towers at the end. Your standard MOBA. You got your little minions that charge down the lanes and all that kind of stuff. But that one is, I mean, they just keep going and going and going with that. I mean,
we're not big MOBA fans either. No. It's not like we're like, this is our genre. We just like Smite because it's like the characters. It's there's so many and they're all so different. That's the beauty, is like how they are designed, each character.
And the fact that they're all based in some sort of mythology, so you kind of have like a little bit of like, I don't know, backstory to them in your head, or you've heard of them before. Not like I don't know, like League of Legends, where you could pick any guy off of the roster and like I don't know who any of these guys are, but they've added so many. I think I saw that they're up to 115 gods in that game.
Holy shit.
Yeah, when we first started, they were in like probably like the 40s, 50s, maybe. I think it's got to be like 5 or 6 years ago. We get you buy it and you get all present and future gods. So no matter how many additions they do, you're automatically going to have all the characters to play with. So that was cool to just jump back and into here and there, because, you know, try a new god, play an arena, just mess around, because it's not that serious in the arenas. So you can screw around with that. They added, so correct me if I'm wrong, Luminous? Right?
Luminous, that is correct.
Yes, they added that to Game Pass, and that's the one I've always wanted to play, because it looks Tetris-y, but it's, when you start playing it, it's definitely not Tetris-y. It's a puzzle game where you're dropping these like bricks of 4
it's
down.
It's like a rhythm puzzle game. Like,
yeah, I am not really that fast. I was getting worked in there, but that one's cool. It's one I want to. That's like one where, you know, I've only got like 20 minutes to play. I'm just gonna play around a Luminous and throw that in. It scratches that like Tetris effect itch, where it's got like the cranking techno music and shiny, sparkly graphics and all sorts of stuff. But that was a PSP game, I want to say, when they first came out.
Originally, yeah.
Yeah, so I've never played it before, so it's cool. I'm always down for a puzzle game, but that one's cool. There was a sale on Xbox I mentioned before. I grabbed the Castlevania collection and I ripped through Castlevania 1 and I stalled out on the Dracula's final level, but that one's got like, I think they have like 8 Castlevania games in there, and it's kind of crazy because they put out like 8 Castlevania games in like 6 or 7 years between like Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Game Boy, and all those. So they were crushing it for a little bit on there. It's a lot of, they're not very much different from each other. It's kind of the same side-scrolly, platformy, whip a ghost in the face and, go around and do your thing. But that was one of like my, when you're a kid and you got an NES and you have like back in the 80s, you get an NES and the only way you're getting a new game is you're going to Blockbuster or you're trading with a friend. And that was like one of my core 6-7 games that I had with the console. So that one was good. I probably should have streamed it, but didn't feel like it this week. So that might come back. And then last one I got was on sale this week. It was Flashback. It's a game that came out back in 1992, and it's come out on a ton of platforms since it first came out. I think it was originally created for the Mega Drive Genesis, but then got ported to like MS-DOS and all the standards, Super NES, everything. It's technically a cinematic platformer is what they have it categorized as.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It reminded me a lot of a game that came out from the same publisher back in those days, Delphine Software. And it's like it was a French publisher or whatever, but they did rotoscoping on all the characters. So like for the time, like all the animations for all the characters are like weirdly super smooth. But I don't know. It's not, I guess I'm playing with the updated graphics, but like, it's got like the character animations where you got to like wait for the animation to end before you can do your next thing. And the controls are
very precise timing, right?
Yeah. Controls are kind of clunky and all over the place, but that one was pretty cool. You got like puzzles to solve and you got to figure out, I got to charge up this thing to power the elevator over here, but I got to get past these two dudes. If I shoot this rope, it'll drop a rock on them. And it's a lot of environmental puzzle solving kind of stuff. So that one was cool. Definitely going to try and finish that one up because Another World or Out of This World or whatever you want to call it. That one came out, I think, the year before. And it had same publisher, different guy made it, but it had like the same rotoscoped character animation stuff too, but that one was one of my favorites growing up. So definitely going to try and crush my way through this one. Hopefully stay off of the internet and not get too frustrated with anything. That's the one thing that I get stuck with some of these, because I don't know if is the puzzle just weird, or is it me, or should I just Google it and solve it and move on to the next thing and keep going. So I'm going to try and stay off of Google and just kind of brute force my way through it. But that's about what I got in this week. It wasn't a ton, but it was enough. Enough games, enough movies, or enough My Hero to satisfy me. What you got, Brandon?
We played Smite together.
Yeah.
We tried playing some Game Pass games together, and that didn't work.
Yeah, we did.
That didn't work as well.
Didn't work out very well.
Yeah, I couldn't join Ascent with you guys.
The Ascent,
that really annoyed me because you guys
the Ascent's multiplayer is busted.
Yeah, so that was annoying. I think I was just snuck in more of my Assassin's Creed Odyssey for a little bit, but I did watch. Okay, so I got to do some maintenance. I got to clean up what I was saying last week. Thank you, Eric, for pointing this out.
Let it out.
I kept saying fucking rear view mirror or something like that, like a Pearl Jam song. I meant, when I was talking about that Alfred Hitchcock movie, it's called Rear Window. And anyways, everything else I said about that still stands, but I got the name wrong. And then I remembered that Disturbia, which I watched one time and fell asleep. And I was like, I probably should go back and watch this, because this is apparently like an unofficial remake in a way, right?
It's basically, it's the same concept.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I saw that.
I'm a fan of Disturbia.
It's got a 69 on
I know you
Rotten
didn't feel the same.
Well, my problem was, this movie came out in 2007. My problem was that what I liked about Rear Window was the gimmick of, it was one set, the cameraman is in Jimmy Stewart's studio apartment, and that's it, and you never leave it. And if people go and interact with the other other like apartments, you just see them go there from a distance. And I thought that was really cool. So when I watched Disturbia, all that's thrown out the window. It's probably more like half the movie is from his perspective, following him around. But it starts off with him punching a teacher. It's like you're on campus. It's and then like it ends. I don't know. So it's like it definitely felt like it was made in 2007 with like the limited technology, the way he did. The only thing that I really liked was how he was looking for his border, like how far he could go before it would set off the like the thing on his leg, the
ankle bracelet,
ankle bracelet. Yeah, but like like the cop, the guy. So that he punched his teacher because his dad died. Oh my God! There's a scene that opens up. He's out fishing with his dad. It's really lame, and him and his dad are driving home, get into a car accident. Dad dies in the car accident, and he's just got like this, guilt that he's kind of the reason why his dad died, even though it's really not his fault. But anyways, so he's got this attitude, and he punches his teacher. And anyway, so when he gets on lockdown in his house, the cop is like the cousin or something like that of the teacher that got punched. So it was just like
it's being a dick.
But you knew that he was like they did it too early, so that you knew that this cop was going to be difficult from here on out. And I would have rather that the cop was difficult. Whatever. I mean, this isn't like an amazing movie. It's just like a fun teenage flick.
It's fun.
Whatever. You know, it is what it is. But there's a couple scenes I like that ends kind of... It's very flat. There's no catch. They did not evolve the idea of like... Because in Rear Window, Jimmy Stewart thinks this guy killed his wife. She disappears. Thinks he killed her. And he's getting rid of the body. And he has no proof, so he's trying to like figure it out and sending people over to the apartment to figure it out for him and investigate and stuff like that. But,
if that's what you liked about Rear Window, like I said, I've told you this before, but you need to watch The Woman in the Window.
Well, I do. I need another one.
That's a much more faithful rendition of Rear Window.
Well, both of these movies, like what I was going to say was that both of them did the same thing, which I don't really think it was kind of safe. Although one was made in the 50s, one was made in 2007, where the guy that he thinks did kill his wife ultimately does end up becoming, like, he knew all along. There's no, like, oh my God, what if, or, like, a catch, or even a double...
That's the interesting thing about The Woman in the Window, is that there is a twist.
I want a twist. I was expecting a twist, but there's nothing. And this movie was just absurd. There was, like, a stupid scene where his buddy fucking like disappears in the guy's house that he thinks his neighbor's like a killer, and his buddy, like, you assume he's dead, and then Shia LaBeouf he gets a phone call, and it's a video or I don't know, something of his buddy like dead, like curled up, and he wasn't dead. He was pranking him. It was just like, it made no sense because he almost died. And he thought it would be, like, it was just to get, like, suspense. It was like the movie, I don't know, whatever. I should beat this movie up. It's not a great movie. It's okay. Also...
We have to do our review on Disturbia next?
No, because this is it. Shia LaBeouf. Also, I don't understand. What... I don't mind him, but, like, I don't understand. He always is the same guy in movies.
Oh, my God.
Where he's, like, geeky, right? He's, like, dorky, but he acts like he's from the streets. Hey, yo, Mom, what's going on?
We talked about Shia LaBeouf last week.
Yeah.
Why are we talking so much about Shia LaBeouf?
It's weird.
The Boof cast.
But listen, when you watch him talk and the way he acts like he's like a thug. And he's like he's always like trying to be all super smooth in everything he does. But he's casted as like these geeky characters. It's weird. That was annoying.
It was very much a time and place thing. Like, he was so popular in the mid-2000s, and that's how everybody acted in the mid-2000s in movies. Like, that was just a very much a product of its time.
Yeah. Thanks, Fred Durst.
Oh,
look what you did.
God, yeah. Look what you did, you little jerk. All right, well, that's it. I didn't really play too much. I watched that movie. My kids are getting into the new DuckTales, which is awesome because we're constantly singing the DuckTales theme song. But what's weird is that Huey, Dewey, and Louie, I think, had amazing voices with the cartoon that I grew up with. You know, like that scratchy kind of Donald Duck voice. But now they talk with perfect, like, English. There's no...
What?
Yeah, it's weird. So like, hey, Uncle Scrooge. Hey, Uncle Scrooge. You know, they're not like doing the, hey, Uncle Scrooge, or whatever that thing is. Like, they don't have that. Like, that's what the ducks are supposed to have. So it throws me off because Donald Duck still shows up and you can't understand him and he still sounds like Donald Duck. He's got the Donald Duck voice, but these nephews now just like talk like teenagers. It's weird.
Ducks don't have lips. They can't enunciate. That just blows my mind hearing that.
True. Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't like Donald Duck not wear like pants or something like that?
Also true.
Yeah.
Donald Duck and Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, and
fucking perverts.
And Goofy can talk. Goofy can talk, but Pluto can't. I don't know. Yeah. So that was it. I just watched Disturbia. I wanted to fix that. I saw that it was Rear Window that I saw. And I played Smite with Dave, and that game's fantastic. I love it. I love going back to that game. And I love that I spent like $20
Classic.
Like years ago, and I'm still getting shit for it for like not for free, but I just get it. I love it. Great value.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we caught up. Let's get into this episode right after this. All right, we're back, and we're talking Game Pass. Now, real quick, just in case for some reason you're listening to this podcast where we talk about video games, and you don't know what it is, who wants to explain what Game Pass is, real quick, before we get into it? Because this is an Xbox exclusive, Microsoft
I think if you want
exclusive.
to boil it down to like the bare bones of it, it's Netflix for games.
Yeah,
basically
that's
Microsoft's
a reductive way.
Microsoft's subscription service where you pay $15 a month and you get access to, I can't even tell you how many games, hundreds of games.
Yeah, hundreds, definitely hundreds.
They're just cycling them in and out, kind of the same way Netflix does. There's a couple different versions of it. There's standard Game Pass, which is $10 a month, and then there's Ultimate Game Pass, which is $15 a month, but it includes all the EA Play games. It includes Xbox Live Gold, so you can play online. Includes Game Pass for PC and cloud gaming as well, which I have yet to tap into, but that one, yeah,
right. Normally, you download the games to your console. They've just rolled out the streaming stuff recently,
right? Yeah, and it's I mean, we just got into August 2021, and that's what's going on at Xbox right now. I mean, the pricing will change, the services are going to change, but what we're all noticing is that you're getting so much value for, I think, a very, very affordable price. And who knows what else they're adding. I mean, they just added Bethesda to the Microsoft catalog. And was EA Play, when did that join?
That was semi-recently, a couple months ago. From today, which adds their whole catalog of EA Play games, because EA has their own subscription service where you can pay a certain price and get access to a bunch of their library, and now it's all in Game Pass. So you got all the Star Wars games, Battlefront, Jedi Fallen Order, you got all the sports franchises, Madden, 2K, all that stuff, FIFA. And not to mention like some other third-party stuff.
As of September 2020.
Yeah, you got like Titanfall, like anything published by EA, except for like the newest releases, are now on Game Pass.
I think it's the EA Vault they call it, but
right.
Like so, Madden will probably get added to it, halfway through the football season, or FIFA, a couple months after it comes out and stuff like that. But it's pretty impressive.
Skate games, it's insane. And now with Microsoft just acquiring Bethesda not too long ago, you got anything published by ZeniMax Bethesda on there now, including, you know, all the Elder Scrolls games, Dishonored, Doom, like all that stuff under that umbrella is now on Xbox Game Pass, which is just insane.
So, well, just to compare it, I guess, because Eric, you subscribe to Nintendo's online service, and do you subscribe to PS Plus?
I do subscribe to PS Plus. They also have PlayStation also has PlayStation Now, which is more similar to Game Pass. But with PlayStation Now, it's all older games. Like with Xbox, you know, all of their first party studio games are released day and date on Game Pass.
Which is huge.
Which is insane. That's not the same for PlayStation Now. Like you're not getting The Last of Us Part 2 on PlayStation Now.
Can I interject and ask you guys a question about that, actually? Like that right there, what you just said?
Yeah. Because
it is huge. So everybody knows that, like, going into, I guess we'll say last gen, the Xbox One and PS4, it was kind of anybody's, even Nintendo, even though they kind of fucked up with the Nintendo Wii, they still had or Wii U. The Wii was still, you know, whatever, it's Nintendo.
Leave the Wii U alone.
This gen, it is, yeah, Dave's one of the 5 people that bought it. But Xbox and PlayStation were kind of toe-to-toe going into this generation. They both did a lot for their previous generation with the 360 and the PS3. When this generation came out, Xbox fell on their face. They really dropped the ball with how they were approaching the new gen. It just didn't... Some things were ahead of the curve, I think, and other things were kind of like just not cool, man, and it made things a little kind of complicated. And PlayStation was there to be like, guess what? Not only that, but we have this, and this. And it just fell in their lap, and they killed it, right? They had amazing exclusives. So Xbox didn't have exclusives. And the exclusives they had, they weren't reason enough to buy the console. So how do you guys feel about that whole setup where Xbox kind of like, they were the console to watch, and then PlayStation just did what they usually do, and they just kind of delivered amazing games, and they didn't really complicate that. But Xbox fucked up a little bit with their fan base. They lost a lot of them to PlayStation, and what do? You don't have the exclusives to give people a reason to buy your console even still. So obviously Game Pass was, I think, kind of like a reason to come to us, because they didn't have exclusives really on there. Like, I mean, you had Halo 5, Gears of War, Sea of Thieves eventually, but Game Pass was, what was it? You know, was it the result of Xbox like, what else do we got? And they're like, shit, we're Microsoft. We've got the cloud. We've got money. Let's figure this out. If we can't beat them in that and making the best exclusives like Mario and Zelda and fucking Uncharted and God of War, if they can't do that, Xbox had to do something. I believe that's why Game Pass came out.
I think you're right. They knew they couldn't compete with, like you said, Sony and Nintendo first party studio games coming out. And
you still can't, honestly.
They still can't, and they had to change their mindset a little bit, and like you said, focus on what they're good at, focus on their strengths, which is technology, their cloud stack, like insane cloud servers that they have and all that stuff. So they built up this technology and threw all their first party games on it and said, hey, for this one flat fee, you can literally play all of our games. You just download them to your console.
Was that on launch? Or was that like a promise to come? Or I can't remember how that went down. I don't remember
what actually launched with Game Pass. But I think it was like all of Microsoft's first party offerings originally.
They were separate for a while because Game Pass Ultimate didn't come around until maybe last year sometime. And I think that's when Microsoft shifted from like, all right, let's try and make, sweet first party games to like promoting Xbox more as a service rather than as like it is a platform, but like, I don't know. I think of it like, I just reserved an OLED Switch for the kid for Christmas. So I'll be getting into that. But like, I notice you buy the game and you got to buy, this $60 game, this $60 game, that $60 game if you want to hit all of the first party stuff for Nintendo. Same thing with, PlayStation. You got to get God of War, you got to go get those Uncharted, you got to get Spider-Man, and you're just racking up, so you get 3 games. That's that's $180. That's like, 2-3 years of Game Pass. So really all you need when you get into the Xbox ecosystem is you just need an Xbox and you need Game Pass, and you immediately have like 300 whatever games. Yeah. To out of the gate, your library is just enormous.
They've brought it up. Nintendo and Sony are focused on their first party offerings, which they are using to sell their consoles. Like, PS4. The reason you buy a PS4 is for those PlayStation exclusives, and Xbox isn't right. I mean, and they're sticking with it for the PS5 too. Clearly, so they're not really evolving. PlayStation isn't evolving just yet. Same with Nintendo. They're sticking to their first party stuff, and they're focusing on that to sell consoles. I mean, it's no secret that I'm a big PlayStation and Nintendo fan. I'm not. I mean, I'm more of an Xbox fan now than I have been ever, because of Game Pass. Really. I mean, the reason I only have a base Xbox One, original Xbox One. And the only reason I got it was to play Game Pass on it. It's getting to the point where I need to upgrade. Like when we were playing the Ascent, it's pretty rough on the original Xbox.
Oh, okay. Dave and I are on Xbox One X.
Yeah, so I mean, just talking about I'll just go right into this. Talking about like the Bethesda acquisition. I mean, Skyrim is my favorite game of all time. And if the next Elder Scrolls game, since Bethesda is now owned by Microsoft, exclusively comes to Xbox, then that will be a huge selling point for me to spend the money to get a next generation Xbox console, like the Series S or whatever, something that can play the Elder Scrolls game. Because I would much rather, I already have Game Pass, play it on there, than spend $70 on PlayStation 5 to play Elder Scrolls 6. And that's the selling point of Game Pass.
Or even when Starfield comes out, because I think the main
too.
Main shift when you knew that Game Pass. I mean, it started to be like they fucking mean business is when they started scooping up and acquiring like all these studios and bringing them into like the first party library. So now they're up. I mean, I don't know what they had initially, but they're up to 23. I think we said earlier 23 first party studios.
Can I run this down really quick? Just a quick
just hit me with it.
Hit list. So okay, here we go. Subsidiaries and divisions of Xbox Game Studios: 343 Studios, which is Halo; the Coalition, which is Gears of War; Compulsion Games, which are developers of We Happy Few; Double Fine, which is Tim Schafer, Psychonauts; The Initiative, which it's one of their new studios that's developing a first party game. In Exile, Mojang Studios, which developers of Minecraft. Yep. Yeah. Ninja Theory, which is Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice; Obsidian, which huge role playing. Outer Worlds, their new game Avowed, coming up eventually.
Ooh,
Playground Games, which is Forza Horizon and the new Fable game; Rare, Sea of Thieves; Turn 10 Studios, which is the Forza Motorsport series; Undead Labs, which is State of Decay; World's Edge, which is created internally to oversee the Age of Empires franchise, which is interesting; and then Xbox Game Studios Publishing, which is just their publishing arm. And then after that, you have the ZeniMax Media and Bethesda Softworks slate, which is Alpha Dog Games, which is a mobile developer; Arcane Studios, which is Dishonored and Deathloop coming up; Bethesda Game Studios, which is Elder Scrolls and Fallout; id Software, which is Doom; Machine Games for Wolfenstein; Roundhouse Studios, which is a relatively new one, Tango Gameworks, and then you have ZeniMax Online Studios working on the Elder Scrolls Online. So any game, past or future, developed by any of those studios is on Game Pass and will be on Game Pass. Just think about that.
So it's so many studios.
I'm looking at subscribers. In the third quarter of 2020, it said they had over 10 million subscribers. September 2020, they had 15 million. And in January of 2021, a few months later, 18 million. It is August. I don't see numbers for that. But if we went from 10 to almost 20, I mean, let's say there's 20. I mean, we're adding 2 more. That's very possible. That's fucking insane. When did Bethesda happen? Because if that shit was already going up that extreme, like projecting that high with that many subscribers.
I'm looking at numbers that from that 18 million, that from, what is this site? It's HT Tech or whatever. They say that 18 million adds up to about $270 million per month, which equates to $3.2 billion a year, which is just absolutely fucking insane. So
now listen to this. So I saw on Wikipedia, they say that Phil Spencer has made several comments about how they compensate developers.
That's what I wanted to touch on.
Dude. So did you see that they cover the cost of production for the game? That's insane. But if they're pulling those kind of dollars, I knew Microsoft made money. But with Game Pass making that kind of money, now that makes more sense.
Especially like indie developers. Like if you're an indie developer and you get brought underneath like the Microsoft wing because
you got Game Pass, yeah, it seems like the dream.
You got a good product and they're going to support you. Like, it seems like that's like a solid foundation to help, give your company like steady income. And so, you don't have to struggle and kickstart, bullshit projects and stuff like that. That seems.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if there's any, I don't know if you've seen any, Brandon, any in your research, like what something like an indie developer putting on a game on Game Pass, what the kickback is to them. Like, I'm assuming they get some sort of percentage of like subscriptions, but I mean, I haven't seen any numbers like that before.
I am unimpressed with the information I'm able to dig up. Now, obviously, I'm not a journalist and I just do this all friggin' day. I'm sure there's like ways to get this data. I didn't find it, but like nobody's really talking about. There's just like I was saying earlier before we recorded, where people are just reviewing the content and they're talking about the obvious things. But when we like stop and think about this, like what is really going to happen?
Right.
Like, let's really get into what I want to talk about. It's just like Dave, right? We've been there. You and I are 40 fucking years old. We were there, and Eric, you were there too for this actually. When you rented the video game for the weekend, right?
Oh yeah.
Maybe it's there. Maybe the new Mortal Kombat's there. Or maybe the new Banjo-Kazooie's there. Whatever. You go, it's rented. Damn, right? Or maybe you got it. You don't even know if it's good. You just know it. You got it. You go home. You play it. That's it. That is it. And you just like, I'm gonna just beat this game, even if you liked it because that was all you played that week.
It was something to play. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
But today, it's like a dreamer's paradise from that era. Now, I'm not thinking about our kids are going to grow into this thing where they just got at the click of a button every video game that's been around in remasters. But I'm just saying, like us, it's finally come where like we can just play almost everything. Not everything, but so much. Just like it truly is a lot. And games have only gotten better, I think. They're getting more beautiful, more challenging, more interesting. Obviously, there's a lot of ones that are just kind of riding the coattails of others and all that stuff. But it makes you wonder, though, Dave, right? You're looking at your library. What are you going to play?
I get a lot of that paralysis by analysis where I just see like my Xbox has like 300 games on it because I have a 4 terabyte external drive that's just chock full of everything that anything that looks interesting, I'm immediately just downloading and stuff like that.
Hit the download button. Yep.
But it kind of, I don't know, it makes it, because Switch and PlayStation had those like indie games that like you could only get on, like Hades, like for a while was only on Switch, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something
PC,
that's,
yep.
yeah, it's coming to Game Pass this in a week or two. But like, does that shift like I got a couple consoles at home. Does it shift things from like Xbox is the one that I go to play all my games on, and then PlayStation I just play their exclusives or whatever, because like the third party games that come out for multiple consoles, like you're gonna like whatever, I get it for free over here. Why am I gonna give Sony $25 or $20 to play this indie game when I get it for free on Xbox? Like it kind of,
you're not getting it for free because you are spending well over $100 to have the ability to play that game when it's on Game Pass. It is interesting though, right? Because like you could go to PlayStation and spend the $20, but you own it. You fucking own it.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
On Xbox Game Pass, right? We have all been there. You download a game. You're already working through another game. Maybe it's a bigger game. Maybe it's something you even bought for like $60. You're working through it. And then you're like, oh shit, that's right. I want to go back and get back into that game. And it's gone. Right?
That is the worst.
You're renting the ability to play it. Yeah. And they don't have a UI, a user interface element to let us know that, hey, this is not on Game Pass anymore. Maybe the Game Pass logo goes away.
Yes, that's the only thing they have is the little Game Pass logo in the corner.
If it's downloaded and I don't own it and it's not on Game Pass, then just make the Game Pass logo not white. Make it yellow or black or red.
Or put a big old X on the game. Like, no, you can't play this anymore,
Yeah, some kind of indicator to let us know that it's changed. Like,
this happened to me. This happened to me the other week. Yeah, I was going to play Observation, like I was talking about. I hit it and it booted me to the store. It's like, but you need to buy this game. I'm like, oh shit, it's not on Game Pass.
Is that mainly third-party games that they add remove? Because is all first-party stuff just like on there?
Oh yeah, it's all third-party. First-party is never going away.
Yeah, so that's the one trick. So that's the worst part about it. Like you finally decide on what you want to play and you press the button and get booted to the store. But
yeah,
they give you a little warning. They have a leaving soon category now too, but you got to actually remember to go and like delete those games or finish them up stuff like that. Oh. It's at the top of the Game Pass menus. But...
Can I bring up something? So we've talked a lot about, whatever. This sounds like a Game Pass ad. Like, we love Game Pass, which we all do.
How can you not though? It's tough.
Yeah. So yeah, let me bring up something that is possibly a negative effect of Game Pass, especially on smaller developers. So we've definitely all done this before. We download a game, that looks interesting. Okay, let's try it out. So we boot it up. We try it out for maybe 10 minutes. And if it doesn't grab your interest right away, you shut it down, you uninstall it, and you never think about it again. You're never going back to that game ever again after you try it once and you don't like it within the first 10 minutes. Game Pass gives us that luxury to say, okay, let me download this. And if I don't like it within 10 minutes, I can just uninstall it and never think about it again and never play it again. And that's shortchanging developers. Yeah, that worked so hard on this. You have no investment. You didn't pay, $20 for this game. Cause if you use your own money, like go to the store, hit the pay button and download it. And you would definitely give it more of a chance than just 10 minutes and then uninstalling it.
It's like the ADHD gaming.
Right. Exactly. There's so many options. There's so many options now. Like we were saying, analysis, paralysis by analysis. Like, okay, I'm going to try this one out. And if I don't jive with it within the first 10 minutes, I'm moving on to something else and never thinking about that game again.
It's just like you see something and like if it's all by itself, like you bought that game, you're more willing to spend your time
definitely
playing that game. Dude, I bought Assassin's Creed Odyssey on sale for $30. I spent $7 maybe, $10 maybe on like the Atlantis DLC because I thought that might be cool, and I still can't even get to it because I got to beat the campaign to get to it. But anyways, I've logged in 65 fucking hours in this goddamn game for $30. And I'm spending $15 a month to have access to these games, and it's like I'm holding them at like such a high standard. It's like, I don't know, the voice acting is just not good enough, and I'll just leave, And it's just,
dude.
And I made a joke to you, Eric, where like, how many of these artists and developers like miss birthdays? They didn't spend enough time with their wife. They didn't go and do things. They didn't live their life. They poured their heart and soul into making this game. And then like they maybe even like even the hardest stuff, the most beautiful stuff is like 5 hours in. But I'm at the 30-minute mark and I'm like, you know what? Nah. What do I care? There's 50 other games like this that I could play.
Lined up, yeah, exactly.
And it's just like there's no investment. But if you bought that game for $5 you probably would check out the first 10 hours because you took 5. It's weird. It's just this weird thing. You do this if we all do this though, what are we doing to the developers? It's just crazy to think. It's just crazy.
Like everybody likes a certain different flavor. Everybody likes a different genre of game. How many games have you played on there that you would have never paid the $10, $20, $30 for because you wouldn't have even heard of it?
That is a good counterpoint.
You would have never tried of it. So there's those cheesy potatoes in the buffet, and you're like, I do like potatoes, but I also like cheese. And you try those cheesy potatoes, and it ends up being your favorite new meal. So, like, there's probably it goes both ways. Where like you can play a game for 20 minutes, and you're like, nah, but like. The part of it that also like plays into it is that like we all have Game Pass. So if The Ascent came out and it cost $40, we'll say $40. It's an
no, I wouldn't buy it.
Yeah, you wouldn't buy it. So how like that also lends to the fact that like I know you guys have Game Pass, so I know you have access to this game. Like, we would have never played Dark Alliance together if we all didn't have Game Pass. We would never have played The Ascent together if we all didn't have Game Pass. So, at the same time, it's expanding your palate, You're trying those cheesy potatoes that you never thought you would have liked.
I mean, I just want to have the conversation of the good and the bad. I just think that, like, when I was trying to do research on this, everybody was they're just talking about the good, like, which is obvious. Like, this is so good. But it is. It's like, it's so good. Is there any bad going on? Is there any harm? What are we doing?
The tough part is we don't know what the developer is getting out of putting their game on Game Pass. It's like
we don't know
the
kickback on that.
They might have gotten enough funding. They must have gotten enough funding because maybe Game Pass gives them enough stability so they can make their next game. Their next game isn't shit.
That brings up another interesting point about developers. If Microsoft, if a developer has, I mean, I would hope to think that, a developer is passionate about what they work on and want to put out a good product. But if they do have the power of Microsoft and their money supporting them, and they know they're going to get paid no matter what, like they know that they're going to get paid no matter if nobody plays this game or if it's a piece of shit or whatever, does that affect the quality of games that are going on Game Pass as well? I don't know.
I'll tell you this. I don't think I've ever played a game. It might not be for me, but I've never played. I thought about that. But like, you ever play games on your phone? There's so many games that are just like not deep. They're pretty, but they're not fun to play. There's not much to them. That's why I don't play games on my phone. But like Game Pass, I'll have to say, every game, even if it's not for me, has a level of quality. Like, it's truly a good game.
The one example that sticks in my mind is Crackdown 3.
They're exclusive.
That's a tough one.
That's all right. Fine.
So that's a whatever. I mean, that was a troubled development, anyways. It took fucking years for it to come out, but that one sticks in my mind. Is like, and like there are games where it's like, I would never buy this if it wasn't on Game Pass. Like, but since it is on Game Pass, there's no harm in me just downloading it and trying it, even if it is a mediocre game, which, I don't know. I don't think the developers that are making games for Game Pass are thinking like that, but I just wanted to bring that up as a potential...
Everybody that's making a game today, even if you're making a game for Nintendo or you're making a game for PlayStation as an exclusive, you're looking at what's going on with Game Pass. I mean, they got to be looking at PlayStation over and be like, what are you guys doing? What are you guys thinking about doing? What's going on with your network? Because they got to know the numbers. These guys, I mean, if we know these numbers, then what are we? We're not even like game journalists. We're just like dudes who just play games and, we just skim the internet. But these guys have to be talking about this. If you're making a game, say your contract's coming up and you're making a game, and you got Microsoft over there like, hey, you make really good games. Yes, we do. Yeah, I know you do. It'd be really nice if you came over here. Yeah, it would. Like, seriously, like, what is PlayStation and Nintendo doing?
Dude, they don't have to
keep
PlayStation's not, or
at this point,
Nintendo's not even playing the same game. Nintendo's just doing whatever the fuck they want. They're like, yeah, we'll put out Mario Golf this year.
Their hardware too. Yes.
Yeah. And PlayStation is selling out every single PS5 that is made in production. So they're fine. People are buying the games exclusively for PS5. Like, I don't think PlayStation's in trouble whatsoever. And until they are, I don't think they're going to change their strategy of pumping out, their first party AAA exclusives, selling consoles. They're having no trouble in that area. Until they do start faltering, I don't think they're going to change their formula.
It's just wild because, I mean, I know
that's the reason that, like you said before, that's the reason that Xbox did change their formula is because they were struggling. And that's why they had to rethink their entire, strategy. And obviously it worked for them. But since it's still working for Sony and Nintendo, they're like, whatever, we're just going to keep making consoles and we're going to keep making first-party exclusives.
So here's one thing I was thinking while you guys are talking is about, all right, if I'm PlayStation and I sell Uncharted 7, I don't know, whatever. I'm just thinking like God of War 15, how do I keep tracking the data? Because I sell the game. If it's digitally, I know where it goes. If I sell it physically, I lose track of that game. But with Game Pass, they instantly know what people are downloading. Like, there's so much data because it's all digital, right? It makes you wonder, though, like, what are they doing with that data and then saying to these fucking studios? Again, I go back to Microsoft, like, going to Bethesda, right? Dave, you said this. Wasn't it you that said, like, something must have happened where Microsoft went into Bethesda Studios and saw Starfield and was like, we need to buy them. And like this, the way that they're looking at IPs, the way they're looking at the number, the data, and then us just seeing how they've doubled the subscribers in like a year. It's fucking crazy. Mm-hmm. And like, yeah, PlayStation is doing what's working, right? They're selling because they can sell Uncharted's and God of Wars and Spider-Man games, and they have those exclusives and they're great games. But I'm just looking at trends. I'm just looking at this, and I've seen like the MLB show has come to Xbox. Hades is coming to Xbox from Nintendo. I don't think we'll ever see Mario, but I know that Xbox is like getting kind of comfortable with Nintendo because they started doing cross-play before them and PlayStation did, and Nintendo was all about it. And Nintendo does not understand online gaming at all. And nor subscriptions. They're just really good at making what they do. And that relationship, I think, is leading to Game Pass being on Nintendo. And Game Pass is going to be an Android device. It's like they're putting on all the things. I can play it on my iPhone, Apple. I can play it on my Android, Google. Microsoft is putting
Dude, yeah,
is putting their name everywhere.
Microsoft will play ball with anyone. If PlayStation let them put Game Pass on, on PlayStations, then they would. But obviously, PlayStation would never do that. And same with Nintendo. Like, if Nintendo would let them, then I'm sure they would. Like, Xbox has no qualms about working, they want to get Xbox Game Pass everywhere that they can. Like you said, it's on PCs. You can stream it on your fucking phone from a browser. Like, they just want it as many different places as they can get it so that they build that ecosystem so that they can get the subscribers up. And, that's how
part of that is, I think Xbox is covering the one thing that people always try and shit on Xbox for is they're like, no exclusives. Xbox doesn't have an exclusives. And now they have so many studios. And I mean, as they as they get all those development cycles kind of into the meat grinder and everybody starts to get their schedules aligned, like you're going to have 23 studios putting out Xbox exclusives throughout the year. So let's do some quick, stupid math. That's, 1 point whatever exclusives coming out per month on the consoles. So basically you're just grinding out and filling in that hole where you have so many studios pumping out so many games that, like, yeah, you get an Uncharted, once every couple of years. You get a Last of Us once every couple of years. That's great. But now
PlayStation drops like an amazing game once a year at minimum.
Yeah, and they kind of rotate. They rotate their schedule.
PlayStation's also building up their for internal studios too. Like they just bought Housemarque. They bought a couple other studios recently, so they're also building up their first party studios. I feel like to compete, with Xbox since they have so many. But yeah, I mean,
so does that end up hurting, or is it like the Civil War where like you're going to either go with the Union or the Confederates? Like you're going with Xbox or you're going with PlayStation and like pick a side and get in the battle.
I don't know. It's tough for me to say because I have the luxury of owning all three consoles, so I really don't give a shit. Like, what comes to where exactly. I have a PlayStation 5, I have a Nintendo Switch, and I have an Xbox One, so I can play anything anywhere I want. So for me, I don't really give a shit about console wars like that. I don't know. I feel like console wars are, stupid.
A lot of fanboys.
The reason that people do it, for people that can only afford one, like say someone has a PlayStation. This was me. Like before, I only had a PlayStation, and I was more fanboyish because I was jealous of what I couldn't have, so I had to pump up what I did have. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how it works. Like, oh, I have a PlayStation. Like I chose PlayStation, so I have to defend what I have and shit on what I don't have, and that's how it fucking works. But now that I have everything, I don't give a shit.
It's a tough problem to have there, Eric. Aww.
Right. I know. I just... I know. Yep. That's what happens when you fucking video games are your main hobby.
The worst part about Game Pass is that it has too many games on it.
Kind of, yeah.
Look at your music. Look at music. Look at Apple, like Spotify, Apple Music.
Content overload.
It is. You're not downloading albums anymore. You're just getting one song and getting out, and you're not really seeing the artist's entire effort.
It happens with
changing the way we get content.
To me, it happens with podcasts too. Like I have so many podcasts that I subscribe to. I gotta pick and choose which ones I want to listen to. Like. And
we're assholes making an hour and a half, hour 40-minute show that's taking us all week.
How long can these guys talk about fucking Game Pass?
It's true. We're getting into the meta shit now, but it's true. Like I gotta pick and choose how to spend my time with any kind of entertainment that I'm choosing, whether it be like TV shows. Fucking, we made the Netflix comparison. It's the same goddamn thing with all these different streaming services. Like. I need to know what's good, what's worth watching, what's worth spending my time with, especially like TV shows these days with hour-long episodes, and there's 10 episodes in a season. Like, I need to know, what's good. And if I watch the first episode and the first 10 minutes doesn't grab me, I never think about that show again. It's the same thing with games.
Same thing, dude. Same thing. And I feel bad because like 1990 Brandon would love any of this stuff. Yeah, and I do feel bad because I made a joke when I was checking the game out, and I was telling you, I'm like, man, somebody spent all this effort designing, sketching, maybe voice acting, whatever, this one scene. And I'm just like, skip.
Dude, I brought that up in what I was playing with Chris Tales, like like I said, the game looked beautiful. It was beautiful hand-drawn art, but then the story and the gameplay didn't really grab me, so I just stopped playing after 20 minutes. And I uninstalled it. But there was a team of people that spent so much time working on that. Like I do sometimes feel bad, like, oh shit, I didn't really give this game a fair shake. But there's just so many other games to play. It's tough to give each one your undivided attention.
It goes back to the same, like when I was a kid, fucking a Nintendo game costs
back in my day
$65, and when you're like 10 or 11, you don't get that much money. You get like a couple games a year. Like,
oh yeah.
At one point, I saw this cool game called Xenophobe, and I'm like, all right, it looks cool.
Oh, yeah.
It's got aliens in it and shit. And I brought it home. I spent $60 on it, and it was as a kid, like, I don't understand what a roguelike is. Like, that game did not, like, I regretted that game. I regretted that purchase for so many years after I bought that game.
Like, it was such a kick in the dick. If the game is bad, then it must be a really bad game. Like,
I mean, I can go back and look at it. I played a lot of
bad games as a kid and enjoyed them. But if you know the game is bad as when you're a kid, then there's something wrong.
And that's the thing where, like, I went all in on this game because whatever, it had cool box art or some dumb shit like that. But
the box art, that's what you had to go off of.
That's all you had sometimes. So now, like, you don't feel that burn as bad because you're just like, fuck it, delete it, on to the next. So kind of helps ease that pain a bit, I guess. If something doesn't fit in your genre, or like you do go outside of your comfort zone to try something new, like. And that's the thing, like, that's what Game Pass lets you do, is go out of your comfort zone and try stuff that you would try, those cheesy potatoes that you would have never tried before.
Dude, kids are spoiled these days. If a kid has an Xbox in Game Pass, like, they're set for life, dude. Like, if I was a kid and I had Game Pass, that, like, access to that many games, I would just be sitting on my Xbox all day long playing games.
I know. It's like, what are kids doing? I give them credit, because how are you not playing all these games? I hope you're, like, doing homework. I hope
you're busy playing Fortnite. You're learning an instrument. I know, they're not even playing a game and that's a free game. Well, and it even kind of, like, yeah, we're in, like, this weird era where you have some of the biggest games are fucking free. Like, with an
Fortnite is free.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to spend
until you want the banana costume. Then that banana costume is not fucking free.
That's
you got to give me $2.99 for that banana.
But, like, your phone is full of free games, right, Dave? Do you still play Clash of Clans?
I've actually
big into Clash.
Fallen. It took me so many years, and I don't know. Lately, I've just kind of fallen out of it. Phone games.
All right, I've never. Yeah,
I've tried to shift my thinking on phone games a bit, because I don't know if I'm going to spend my time on it. I don't want to be served ads. I don't want to have to wait for timers. I don't want to have to wait for stupid shit like that. I just want to take a poop, play a game for 10 minutes, and be done with it.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. The problem with you is you don't have a Nintendo Switch, and I don't know why you refuse to buy one, even though you want one. Maybe.
No, I have a receipt for one right next to me. I just have to wait till October.
You won't have it in your hands until October.
I have to wait till October for this little fucker.
Oh, that's right, you did.
I'm gonna be on the OLED train, homie.
Oh, that's nice. Hey, real quick, just because it's kind of relevant, I was checking out the Steam Deck.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was going to be a Game Pass competitor. It's not the case. It's not even the same thing. It's more like a Switch competitor.
Well, yeah. I don't know why. I mean, it's a Switch if you have a huge Steam library, now you can just play it on the go, essentially.
It's only $720.
And yeah, how many people have so many Steam games that they can't play? Yeah.
Me.
Yeah, so now, like, hey, all you have to do is buy the console, and then you don't have to buy shit after you buy that Steam Deck, because you already have this giant library.
Right. I would love to get that.
Yeah, but it's like $550.
Fucking expensive, yeah. I can't justify the cost. I already got enough shit to play without including my Steam library in that.
And it's only 60 megahertz the screen. I was like, it's not even 120? Come on. My iPad is like 120. That's bullshit.
Yeah, it's on par with the Switch. Obviously a lot more powerful, like, internal hardware than the Switch. But yeah, I don't know.
Check this out.
If I had money to burn, maybe I would buy it.
What if the Xbox came out with the Companion? It's just called the Companion, or the Game Pass, Xbox Game Pass Mini or something like that. And it's like this screen with the controllers on the side.
I mean, that's basically. Like, have you seen the Backbone controller that you can attach to your phone?
I saw that, but
that's basically what that is. Because I mean, you could play fucking Game Pass on your phone, so you just attach one of those, and there you go. You got a portable Xbox.
I have the website open and I'm looking at it, and it looks goofy, but maybe it's okay. It looks.
I've heard really good things about it. Like it feels comfortable. But that's your best way to play handheld Xbox games right there. But yeah, I don't know.
All right. Well, we've been talking a fucking long time. We talked a lot about this. I hope people that listen to this, enjoy this, because I don't think many people are just analyzing just what Xbox is doing with Game Pass. But I would love for you two to have like 2 closing thoughts on if it's good, if it's bad, or just what do you think? What do you want out of Game Pass, or everybody else, like Nintendo or PlayStation or whatever, want to make Game Pass? Stadia wants to do a Game Pass thing. Like, what do you guys want to close with, and then we can go do our little game at the end of the episode.
I mean, I think
we'll go. Yeah, Eric, you go first.
I think I don't know. I think Xbox is just 2 steps ahead of everybody right now. I think the industry is I think it inevitably is going to go this way with, streaming services, streaming video games, and having this subscription-based service with video games. I mean, we have it with movies, we have it with TV shows. It's inevitable that it's going to happen with games. And I think Xbox is just already ahead of the curve with that, and they're killing it.
Yeah, I don't know if I can't argue with anything there. It's almost too good of a value to pass up. Like, if you play a lot of games, I mean, yeah, if you're just in it for the exclusives and you just want to shoot people with Nathan Drake, or, I mean, like Uncharted and God of War are absolutely worth the price of admission there, but you got to buy the console just for those to get into that. It's tough. So, I mean,
my question is,
the $15 a month is too much to argue with.
Well, yeah. I mean, my question there is, like, eventually, because since they are acquiring all these new studios and getting more high-profile games, Starfield, the next Elder Scrolls, all this shit, are they going to do the Netflix thing of hike up the price by $1 each year, or every 6 months? Or are they going to stick with the $15?
Phil Spencer says that they're not making money off of Game Pass today. They said what they're doing with Game Pass is long-term goal. They're at cost right now. And that's not surprising, because that's what they did with the hardware, right? They're even with the first Xbox, I think they have always kind of like, yeah, we're just
first Xbox they took a hit on.
They took a hit, but then they kind of made money with the 360 was like a big hit for them. I think the Xbox One, I don't know if they made money per console, but it seems like that's just like how Xbox is, especially today. I mean, they're really just trying to get people back. Like, please buy our console. Please spend your time playing here instead of over there. Even if the game's over there, please play it here because we have Game Pass. By the way, Game Pass has EA Vault. By the way, it has discounts. By the way, it has blah, 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 It is wild. Did you have anything else you wanted to say on that, Dave?
No, that was about it. Just I mean, it's tough to poke holes in it as long as the developers are getting their fair shake and we're not squashing out the little guy or anything like that. Shit that I don't have, knowledge of or anything like that. I think it's too good to pass up, in my opinion. So, play more games.
Yeah, all right. So that's Xbox Game Pass. We highly recommend it. It has a lot of awesome indie games on there. It has a lot of family games. It has a lot of sport games. It has all the genres you're looking for. We're not endorsed by the Xbox in any way, but we see a good deal, and it'll be nice. We like it. We just wanted to have a discussion about it, though, as a whole, and just like, what is it doing? So, but yeah, I think we talked about it enough. We'll probably revisit it because it's insane what's going on.
There's always it's always
competition's gonna.
Something's always getting released for it, and it's always something fresh coming in twice a month. So you're getting 4 to 6 games, I guess, technically. So it's kind of hard not to play.
Yep. Oh, another thing I should mention is like just really quick. I always have to check if a game is on Game Pass before I decide to buy it on like Switch or PlayStation or something. Like I'm always like, especially if it's an indie game, I'm always like, let me go check real quick if this is on Game Pass, because I've done that before where I've bought a game on Switch that was on Game Pass and I'm like, shit. But that was just a fun anecdote there.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we're done. Let's go take a break, and then we'll play a game where Eric is hosting. I don't even know what it's called. Name that game.
Name that game.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll be right back then.
Sweet.
And we're back. And I had to do that a couple times, but you'll never hear them. But we're back with the game. And Eric is going to be hosting this one. It is called...
This is Name That Game. We'll just reiterate the rules here. So basically, I have chosen 5 different games, and I'm going to read facts about each one of those games. And once you guys think you know what the game is, you'll buzz in with your name. And if you get it right, you get a point. If you get it wrong, then you're basically locked out until I read the next question and the other person read the next fact and the other person has had a chance to guess. But after that, it's free game. So, and then first, basically after I go through the 5 games, the person with the most points wins. So, it's possible I'll run out of facts and neither of you will get it, or, so someone could win with just 1 point, So yeah, let's get it going. Oh, and there's a theme here. It has to do with the episode. So each one of these games is currently playable on Game Pass. So you can play these games right now on Game Pass.
All right, let me close all my browser windows then.
No cheating. All right, no cheating.
We're clear.
All right, here we go.
My eyes are closed.
Let's do number 1. All right, here's the first fact. Every NPC can be killed, and the world will simply change and adapt to their absence. Nothing for that one?
No.
Dave. State of Decay.
Incorrect.
Fuck it. I'll just give it a shot in the dark. All right.
So this next fact, I can just listen, take my time.
Just listen.
If I want to decide her. Okay.
Soak it in there, Brandy.
Here is fact number 2. Romantic options were initially considered, but the feature was eventually cut by the studio.
Brandon.
I mean, okay.
Oblivion?
No. Incorrect. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on.
This next one is me only then?
Yes. Since Brandon guessed and got it wrong.
Okay.
This game was publicly revealed at the Game Awards 2018 with a trailer debut.
Shit.
Cool. It's more recent.
That is recent. Everybody can get killed. That one sticks in my brain. Where
it's like, what genre is it?
It's got to be some sort of RPG of some kind, I would think.
Yeah.
If somebody...
Or is it? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm trying to think of like the I don't know, the engines where like, yeah, they have randomly generated NPCs where somebody would fill in for them. Shit.
Yep. Game Awards 2018 revealed.
I don't know.
Okay.
All right. Move on to the next one. All right. So it's free game here. And this one is going to basically probably be a race to the finish because it's gonna give it away, but maybe not. Whatever, I'll read it. The game's directors created the original Fallout.
All right, Brandon.
Dave.
Oh wow, that was close. I think it was Brandon. I think I heard Brandon first.
Oh my god! Come on, go for it.
I'll let Dave go. I'll let Dave go because he sounded more confident. So if that's a rule, I don't mind.
I'm not confident. I'm not thinking about it.
I heard Brandon first. Just shoot your shot and see what happens.
Outer Worlds.
That is correct. Good job.
Is that what you were gonna say, Dave?
No, I was thinking 76, but that wasn't at Game Awards. That wasn't at Game Awards either, and there was no NPCs to start in that, so that's why I was stalling.
Yep. Brandon is correct with 1 point. The Outer Worlds.
Outer Worlds, you can kill any NPC?
Yep. And the world will simply change and adapt to their absence. It's really cool.
I know I've killed an NPC before, but I didn't notice that like you could kill all of them. I was just like,
you can kill main story NPCs. Yeah.
That's kind of
try that
cool. Out. Yeah, it makes me want to reinstall that dumb game.
Just go on a murder run.
All right. Good job, Brandon. All right, so you got 1 point for that one.
Sweet. Oh, damn.
All right, here we go.
That was close.
All right, moving on to the next game here. You guys ready?
Aye, I'm ready.
Fire in the hole.
All right. So, the 4 songs that you can play on your instruments are Bassoon Bill, Ride of the Valkyries, Grog, Melees,
Dave. Sea of Thieves.
Go ahead. Yep. Correct.
Yes. Round of applause for me.
Good job.
Flight of the Valkyries had it. That one, I love playing that song over and over in that game just because it's...
Yep. Good job. Those ones are a little tough because a lot of them gave it away, so I was going to start like blanking out words.
What a charming moment in video games is like when you get everybody together on a ship.
Just on a ship and just singing a sea chant, just playing
beautiful graphics and just, dude, it's so fun. Everybody picks their instrument. It's fucking fun, dude. It's very childish in a good-hearted way.
Best sea shanties has to go out to Black Flag, though. Let's be honest.
Oh, yeah. Black Flag is very good for sea shanties.
That's some good shanties. All right.
Cool. All right, 1-1. Good job on that one. Moving on to the next game. All right, let's see. Where do we want to start here? Okay, let's start with this one. There are no loading screens when the planet travels from one planet to another.
Brandon?
Dave.
Oh, Brandon?
Oh, my God.
Outer Wild?
Incorrect.
Dave says No Man's Sky.
Also incorrect.
So
those cancel out. Those cancel out. You guys can guess on this next one.
Okay.
Good guesses though. All right.
No loading. Well, so there's no loading screens when you go from one planet to the other. What'd you guess, Brandon?
Outer Wild. You know that
Outer Wilds. Alien? Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
That was my other thought. Okay.
Let's see here. A lot of these are spoilery, but I'm trying to find one that I might just have to.
Spoilery. That must mean there's a story.
Don't read too much into it. All right, here we go. So the first tomb the player visits in the game houses a blank named Elram. Elram? I don't know how to say that. Which is Hebrew for mighty God.
Okay, you said tomb.
I did say tomb.
The first tomb.
There's planets and there's tombs.
Planets and tombs.
I mean, sounds like a cool game already.
All right. And it has a story. Don't want it to be spoiled.
Dave. I'm going to say... I don't know which one. Mass Effect 2.
Incorrect.
Oh, damn it.
You can go to planets in real time. Right?
I mean...
there's loading screens too. That was dumb guess.
Yeah.
Yep, the clue was there's no loading screens when traveling from one planet to the next.
Okay. Okay.
That I'll just say that might be a little bit misleading. But that's all I'll say about that.
All right.
So don't think too hard about that one.
Brandon gets this next one anyways, so right?
Technically, yeah.
Because I guessed there, so have at it.
Oh, my brain is going somewhere else right now. All right, let's hear it. Give it to me.
All right. Let's just see. This one. Let's see. Okay, we'll go for this one. Legendary sound designer Ben Burt provides the voice of a main character in this game.
Oh man, I wish I knew who he was.
I was gonna say I wasn't sure.
I don't know Ben
you guys knew who he was.
Who is this Ben Burt?
Okay, I'm gonna wait now. I'm not gonna make a move.
I'm back in the game.
Back
in the game. Okay, these are getting into the nitty gritty, so this might also be a speed test.
I have a game in my head. I'm ready to call for it, but I don't know. Let's go.
Let's see. Okay, this is a good one that I can modify. One unlockable skin for this character, which has a purple and green color pattern, is called Day of the Dianaga. This is a reference to the LucasArts game Day of the Tentacle.
Brandon.
Oh.
Yes. Brandon.
Oh, man. Oh, actually, that's not right. I thought I was going to go when you said that last nugget there. I want to say it's Jedi Fallen Order.
Ding, 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 ding.
See?
Yes.
There's no loading screen between planets there?
Nope.
If you think about how I had to think about the controls, and that's why I was like, I think I know what it is now.
Because remember, you're in the ship while you're in hyperspace. You can walk around the cabin of the ship, like the bridge of the ship, while you're in hyperspace going to the next planet.
Technically, yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
And
that's where I was going too.
Yep. I was trying to avoid a lot of the Star Wars related ones. Because,
I know you were. I know. It's like, it's interesting because like if I am right, oh man, I'm so happy I got that because I thought it was Brandon. That when I changed, like when I said, I was like, it's got me thinking. That's where I went. So
I mean, LucasArts, was a hint.
Mm.
Good job, Brian. All right, 2-1. All right, we got 2 more games here. Here we go. There is a lot to choose from for this next one, so it's gonna be a little tougher.
Dave,
what?
I'm just kidding.
No, go ahead, Dave. Go ahead. What do you think it is? Go for it.
This is your guess. No, all right.
Got all
here we
Game
go.
Pass.
All right. Let's start with a semi-vague one. All right. There is a hidden face underneath the pumpkins on snow golems.
Dave, Minecraft.
Okay, that was just a matter of whether you knew this game or not.
A little bit.
Number 1 with the booyaka. Snow golems got it away because that's one of my defenses of my bases. You just put a little fence around, you make a snow golem, and you just let them chuck snowballs at spiders and shit that try and get near your village.
Dave knows his Minecraft.
Gotta know your Minecraft, homie.
I should have started with this one. Did you know that Microsoft bought Minecraft for over $2 billion?
Oh, yeah. Notch.
That's insane.
Notch got rich off of that one. Good for him.
All right. Well, that was a good one. Good one for Dave. All right. This is perfect. 2-2.
I guess so.
Last game. Here we go. All right. Let us see which ones we want to choose. Ooh, okay. I don't know if that one's going to give it away. We'll try this one. All right. So this is fact number 1. The ESRB was originally going to rate the game T, but after they found a mod in the game's code that sexualizes female NPCs revealing their breasts, they changed the rating to M.
Ooh, no boobies in America. A mod in the game.
A game, I mean, like, the only game that I can think of that allows you to have mods is, like, Bethesda stuff, right?
I mean, there's a lot of games with mods, but yeah.
But in Game Pass. In Game Pass?
Dave.
Do you want to take a guess?
We're just going to guess
You want to keep rolling.
We're just going to guess Skyrim.
Incorrect.
No, damn it.
Oh, okay. That's what I was thinking.
Mods is the first thing that's what popped in my head. So I don't know.
All right, I guess I'll sit pretty for this next one then.
Have at it.
All right, let's see here. Let me take a look just to make sure.
Make sure you give Brandon a shitty clue.
Dude, you just got like handed whatever that Minecraft shit was.
I didn't know you would get that.
Don't shit on Minecraft just because you don't play it. Expand your Game Pass Horizons.
I played it.
Oh,
I played it. I played a lot. Remember I told you the story where Jack burned down like half of our house with lava, and I was just like, dude, I'm not mad. I think that was good.
I had one of those the other day where fucking Luke was in creative mode and started dumping buckets of water everywhere, and those are such a pain in the ass to clean up because there's a water source everywhere. It's just a fucking mess. So
yeah, you turn it back on. There's a bedroom full of like sheep, but there's not like 4 sheep. There's like 30.
All right, here's the next one. So this is just Brandon, right? Since Dave guessed.
The
collector's edition of this game. The collector's edition of this game is the best-selling collector's / limited edition of any game ever.
So there's
want to sit on that one or
and
take
a collector's
a guess?
edition.
Man, and it's not Skyrim. So
Not Skyrim.
collector's edition, and it's the best-selling collector's edition of any game, like that has done
Any game ever. Yep.
Yeah. Of any collector's editions.
Of any collector's edition / limited edition ever. Yes.
I wish I could answer that. My heart says Halo, but I'm sorry. I'll wait. I will not make a move.
All right. So both of you guys are back in it. All right. So this next one. This is the 4th installment in this series of video games.
Part of my brain wants to say something, but
You keep your mouth shut over there.
Nothing?
It can't be. I kind of
I
want
need one
to.
more fact. Go for it, Dave. Go ahead.
Yeah, you want him to guess, so we'll be locked
I don't
out.
want to. I don't want to give you a freebie though in the next one. Whatever. No risk it, no biscuit. I'm gonna guess Grand Theft Auto 4.
Incorrect.
What? Is that even in Game Pass?
It might.
I
know 5 is, but 5 is for a little bit now. I was guessing. Shot in the dark. Whatever.
Brandon, you might have just gotten this handed to you on a silver platter.
Oh no! Don't do that.
I don't know, dude. I dropped the ball. Come on. All right, what do we got?
Well,
Fourth
maybe not.
game in the
We'll go with
series?
this one. Yeah, the 4th game in the game series. So this one, okay, I'm gonna blank out something here. This is the only blank game that takes place in 2 eras. It takes place from the end of the 3rd era and finishes in the first year of the 4th era.
What? Can you say that whole thing again?
This is the only blank game that takes place in 2 eras. It takes place from the end of the 3rd era and finishes in the first year of the 4th era. Something with eras.
Yep, you got that.
Huh.
That was supposed to hand it to me?
Maybe not that one, but probably the next one.
Why are you laughing over there?
Will be a rush.
What are you talking about over there, Dave?
Nothing. Because I have no friggin' idea.
Remember, 4th installment in this franchise.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna move on to the next one.
Fine.
I think I just figured it out. No, I
Oh,
don't
you
know.
did?
Maybe.
Oh.
Maybe?
All right.
I don't know.
let's see here. I'm just gonna. I feel like this is gonna be a race to the finish line, so I'm just gonna read the whole clue without blanking anything out. Sir Patrick Stewart, a veteran
Brandon.
of. Oh, yes,
Oblivion.
that is correct.
Son of a bee.
Yeah,
I was thinking
ding,
about
ding.
that one. They got mods for that?
They got mods for that, man. They got
Is that
mods for all the Elder Scrolls.
I mean,
games.
not on Xbox though. On PC, I'm assuming.
I mean, yeah, but not saying the mods are specific to Xbox. This is just a fact about the game.
Got me there. The only other game that Patrick Stewart is that I can think of is Castlevania: Lord of Shadows. He does a good job as narrator in there.
Right.
Yep. Patrick
Damn it!
Stewart,
Nice job, Brandon.
famous.
Well, what's funny is we both knew it was like Skyrim in the beginning, and like
I know. I was trying so
was
hard
just
not
fucking
to say
Oblivion.
anything. Yeah, I was trying so
Or
hard.
even
not to
I should have said
a
that
face.
after you said Skyrim,
Dude, you said Oblivion earlier too, for like when you were thinking of the
for
Outer
last,
Worlds.
I know.
This is so
That's
funny.
funny. No, that was good. All right, yay.
Good game, 3-2. Brandon takes it, man. Brandon won 2 weeks in a row.
Oh my god.
Little
Wow.
lame-o.
Impressive.
What a lame-o. Nice work.
All right. Oh, thank you.
Good work.
Do we have anything going on in the social? Oh, you know what I did? I created our Facebook community. Now, listen, I will be honest, okay? I'm not that active on Facebook, but I should be. And I made one. I made it, and I invited you guys. And I think what I am looking to do with that group on Facebook is to I want people to share things they find, honestly. I think it would be really cool if we could just curate things that we saw. It could be a screenshot of something in a movie or a game or something cool. Anything that you think that people would love to experience. I think that would be really cool if we could have like a place that we could do that, because that's kind of like what we're doing with the show. So anyways, that's my mentality, but obviously I'm open to any ideas, but put that together. And then Dave's been doing some stuff on the side over here with Reddit.
Yeah, poking around Reddit, just trying to get a little visibility on there. Nothing too crazy, but anything on Twitter or email, Eric?
Just the normal stuff. Follow us at Nomads of Fantasy on Twitter. Surprise, no new emails this week. nomadsoffantasy@gmail.com if you want to, send in your questions or comments. We'll read them on the show. If you got Apple Podcasts, review us on there. That would really help us out a lot. Give us more visibility, all that good stuff. Leave your honest reviews. If you think we could improve on something, we want to know about it. Just let us know. What else? Oh, I'll plug our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Nomads of Fantasy. I'm thinking I want to do some sort of, whether it's a group stream, I might do a solo stream this weekend of something. I kind of want to stream out that Game Boy Advance Harry Potter game I was talking about, just because I've been wanting to play it.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm streaming out so many Game Boy Advance games, but that's what I'm in the mood for, so that's what I'm doing.
I'd like to get some more Ascent in this week too. So even if I'm I'm just messing around and playing with it, I might try and just throw some of that out there.
Yeah, that'd be fun. So follow us if you want to get some notifications when we go live on Twitch. But other than that, that's all I got.
That's all I got. I've talked enough about games, I think.
Yeah, it's so hot in this room. I'm ready to pass out.
Well, don't pass out on us, Dave. Not yet, because we gotta say let's say goodbye. All right. Yeah. Well, that's Game Pass, and then next week we probably will get into. Do we have a topic? Have we picked one? Probably go into a movie or a TV show. I don't know. But we're looking at our schedule here, and we do have ideas. Some things that we're thinking about definitely is October. So, Dave, what were your ideas for October that might cue up some people to get aligned with what we're doing on our side?
Well, it's Halloween month, so maybe some horror movies, horror games. I know Eric.
I really want us to all play through Resident Evil 7 and talk.
I'm going to do it.
Do a full
episode. I'll do it. I gotta start building up the courage now. But one of the things I definitely wanted to rewatch is Eric has never seen Interview with a Vampire.
Yeah, I want to go back and see it.
That is a fucking classic. So that one's definitely going to get that in the hopper. But
that would be good. That would be fun.
All right, we'll put on your radar, everybody, that the Resident Evil 7 and Interview with the Vampire will be coming up in October.
Spooky stuff coming up.
Yeah. Yeah, all right, cool. Yeah, and then any ideas, even if somebody wants to hear our opinion on something, obviously we'll check it out. But other than that, I think that's it. I think we're out of here.
See ya.
Stay classy, Nomads.